गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम्। ॐ श्री महागणाधिपतये नमः। ॐ वृषभं च शनीनां विश्वरूपमदाभ्यं बृहस्पतिं वरेण्यम्। ॐ तद्विष्णोः परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयः दिविव चक्षुराततम्। ॐ श्लीं ह्रीं ज्योतिर्ब्राह्माय नमः। Can everybody repeat Hare Ramakrishna 3 times? Om Hare Ramakrishna, Hare Ramakrishna, Hare Ramakrishna. Okay, so we will do VPHS first. Can I have the book? Okay, so we are, let me turn this off. Okay, where are we now?
We did lesson 24.
Yeah, I know, chapter 24. First Lord in the 6th house. First Lord in the 1st house, 2nd house, up to 6th house we did. Okay, so that's 7. लग्ने से सप्तमे पापे भार्या तस्य न जीवति शुभे तनो दरिद्रो वा विरक्तो वा नृपोऽपि वा। लग्ने से सप्तमे पापे, if the Lagna Lord is a malefic and he is in the 7th, if the Lagna Lord is a malefic and he is in the 7th house, bharya tasya na jivati, his wife will not live. That means his wife will be short-lived. His wife will not have a long life. Shubhe tano, if he is Shubhe means if he is a benefic planet, functional benefic planet, then daridro va Shubhe tano. Atano means atana. It means somebody who is actually traveling a lot, traveler. Atna means not necessarily, it may be wandering also, but literal meaning is traveling. Somebody, a traveler. So somebody who is not stable in one place. Daridrova. Daridro means poor. Viraktova. Virakto means somebody who, somebody who doesn't have any interest in anything. No interest in life. Drupopiva. Or a king. Okay, so if Lagna Lord is in the 7th house, he says wife will not live for a long time. If he is a malefic planet. Why Lagna Lord in the 7th not good for wife? Yes. If you take the 7th house of spouse as Lagna, from there, this Lagna Lord, who is a great benefit for the native and gives health and physical well-being for the native, for the wife, he will be the 7th Lord of a Maraka basically. 7th Lord is 8th house is the house of longevity, 7th house is the house of break in longevity. So, he is basically a killer for the wife. So, being a killer, Maraka, who afflicts Lagna, her Lagna, for her 7th house is Lagna. So, being the Maraka in 1st house, he can cause physical harm. He can give a short life. So, from that point of view, for me? For the spouse, not for the person. No, not for the native. For the spouse. Bharya tasya na jivati means wife will not live. So, this is if he is a malefic planet. If he is a benefic planet, then you can consider. It may not happen. On the other hand, if he is a benefic planet, then he is a traveler. Why travel? Well, 7th house is the secondary house for travel. What is the main house for travel? 3rd house is the main house of travel, right? That is the house of travel, and 7th is also a house of travel. Basically, it has the 5th house Argala on the 3rd house, and it shows actually long travels. 3rd house is just a specific journey, going from here to, let's say you go to DC or something. But 7th house is long journeys, or being on a big trip and going from one place to another place, and keep moving. That is basically shown by the 7th house. So if he is a benefic planet, these results are indicated. He is either a traveler. Next, Daridraha. Why Daridraha? Why poverty? Lagna Lord in the 7th house, why will that be poverty? Right. How many? Second is the house of wealth, okay? Okay, good, keep going. Yeah. So Lagna Lord is in the 6th from 2nd house, okay? He shows 6th house is the house of fight and obstacles. 2nd house is the house of wealth. So he shows fighting for wealth, fighting for accumulating money, fighting to increase your bank balance. So it doesn't necessarily mean he will be poor, but the thing is, if he is really rich, he will probably not have to fight. That is the simple rationale. But the thing is, like I keep saying, take it with a pinch of salt. This is just to show you how to think. So planet in 7th house is important for money from the point of view of, it shows your fighting spirit for money. Viraktova. Virakto means, yeah, detached from pleasures, has no attachment and no interest in things. Why? How can the Lagna Lord in the 7th house give detachment? Attachment.
No, basically
Yeah. What is that? Yeah.
Detachment will be the person.
Mm-hmm.
So this must be 12 to some 8. So detachment
Hmm. Second house is basically wealth of the person, the resource of the person, the endowment of the person, how well endowed the person is.
Because second house is also seen for the Hora point of view. Second house is seen for seeing what are the things that the person likes and dislikes.
Mm.
So from that point of view, so we really fix from second.
Mm-hmm. Actually, quite honestly, I'm also not really convinced why the Lagna Lord in the 7th house should give detachment. Because detachment we see from other houses, not really the 7th house. So I'm not really sure why he said that. I will not even be surprised if there is some typo there. One word is misrepresented. But let us leave it. And now Gurukrpa. Why? Or even a king. So he said bad things like poor, going around to different places, not stable in one place. He is also saying king or even a king. Can Lagna Lord in the 7th house make somebody a king? Well,
Because he is 11th from 9.
he is the
11th from
okay. 9th is the house of fortune, so this is gain in fortune, gain of fortune. Moreover, 7th house is the house of dealing with people. It's the house of interacting with people. So he deals with a lot of people. Of course, it doesn't mean king, but somebody influential. If somebody is dealing with a lot of people, he is probably an influential person. More importantly, where is the Arudha Lagna? If Lagna Lord is in the 7th house, where is Arudha Lagna? Which shows the status and image of the person. Lagna Lord is in the 7th from Lagna. Take the 7th from him. So you come back to Lagna. But Arudha of a house can never be in the house itself or 7th. So take the 10th from there. And when it falls in one of those two, take the 10 therefrom. So it is 10th house. 10th house from Lagna, which is 10th house. So Arudha Lagna is in the 10th house. So where is Lagna Lord now? From Arudha Lagna, where is he placed? He is in the 10th. 7th house is the 10th from 10th. So this planet, a benefic planet, who happens to be Lagna Lord and very auspicious for the native, he is in the 10th house from Lagna. What is 10th house? The house of work in the society. So he has great actions, great work in the society. So an influential person in the society basically. So that is also possible. The next verse. Lagne Sestamage Jatah Siddha Vidya Vicharadaha Rogi Chauro Mahakrodhi Juti Japaradharagah. Lagne Se Astamage Jataha. If the Lagna Lord has gone into the 8th house, a person born like that, Jataha, a person born like that, Siddha Vidya Vicharadaha means Siddha means somebody who has Siddhi kind of thing. That means he has well established knowledge basically. Siddha Vidya Vicharadaha. He is a very good scholar. He understands. He is an accomplished scholar who understands, who has very good knowledge. So he is very knowledgeable and very learned. Rogi, diseased. Chauro means thief. Mahakrodhi means very angry. Jyoti. Jyoti means one who takes to Jyota Vidya. What is Jyota? Telugu is Jyotam. No, Jyota. Jyota means gambler. So he has diseases, he is a thief, he is very angry, he is a gambler, and Paradaragaha means interested in the vice of other people. Okay. Now, let's see each of them. Why is he an accomplished scholar and very knowledgeable person? He knows lot of Vidya.
When you said that is we see from the education from 4th, 9th and 2nd.
Right.
But when it comes to 8th, we are saying it is more for occult and
Right.
spiritual knowledge.
Right.
So will this scholar means scholar and learn means he is in the spiritual occult knowledge? Or
He is not specifically saying, he is in general saying a scholarly person.
but we see the scholarship everything from the house, not from
Which house shows scholarship actually, tell me?
5th house.
6th house. 4th house is the process of learning something. 5th house is the accumulated knowledge. 5th is the second from 4th. So it is second house of wealth, accumulated wealth from the 4th house of learning process. So as you learn, what you accumulate is the 5th house. So 5th house is the scholarship that you possess. It is your scholarship. So now, does 8th house have a link on the 5th house? Sorry. It has a very strong 4th house agala. So 8th house is an important house for scholarship in general. And in general, if the Lagna Lord is in the 8th house, it makes a person very knowledgeable, not just in occult knowledge. In general, 8th house is the house of occult knowledge, but also it is important for knowledge. But why Rogi?
8th house is house of
House of?
disease.
It's the house of disease. So if the Lagna Lord is placed there, the person's intelligence is always focused on disease, what to do for this disease. Choro. Choro means thief. Why thief? 8th house is also the house of sudden gain and sudden loss. It's basically the house of suddenness. Suppose you inherit something. Suddenly you didn't have anything. Suddenly you got a letter from somebody saying, I'm giving you $1 million. I mean, somebody died and you are getting, of course, if you get an email like that, don't open it. Mostly it's a spam email. But you, suppose you inherit from somebody $1 million or something. It is definitely shown by 8th house. 8th house is the house of such things. So inheritance, unexpected inheritance is from the 8th house. You see, it is basically gaining from somebody else's loss, gaining after somebody else falls. That is shown by this bad house, 8th house. So 8th house is the house of gaining at somebody else's cost. It could also show being a thief. But it's not necessarily a thief. It could also mean getting at the cost of somebody else. Now Mahakrodhi, very angry. Why is it very angry? Anger comes from? Why is it so? What house was anger? See the emotions, where do you see the emotions from? The emotional thought, stability of the person, 6th house. So 8th house has again Agala on the emotional stability. So the planets there have a bearing on the emotional stability of the person. Suppose Lagna Lord is Jupiter, suppose Sagittarius is rising, and let's say Jupiter is in Cancer. Definitely don't use the definition. Don't say he will be very angry, very unlikely. The bottom line is, if the person is like, if the planet involved is Mars or somebody, you can apply this particular dictum. Bottom line is, if the 5th house has an Argala, has an intervention from the 8th house planet, and if the planet is conducive to anger, then anger is also possible. The bottom line is, the lesson here is, you look at the planets in the 8th house to see the nature of emotions of the person. Is he emotionally stable and calm, or is he very unstable and very irritable? So those things, from that point of view, the 5th house is the key house and the 8th house is an important house. That is basically the lesson in this. Duty, gambler. Why is he a gambler? 8th house is the house of suddenness, and also it is actually the house of the gambling spirit. It is the house of risk taking. So people with a strong 8th house or important planets in the 8th house, they tend to be risk takers. They don't take things the normal way. They take big risks. They may or may not work. It depends on the strength of the planet, strength of the yoga, etc. And here Jyota literally means the dice, but it doesn't mean he rolls a dice every time. It only means he is basically a risk taker, a born risk taker. Paradaragaha means interested in the wives of other people. Why? Why interested in the wives of other people? Swami? Okay, so we are not saying he ends his wife, his marriage. We are saying he is interested in the wives of other people. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Okay. What is the house that shows the desire of the person? 7th is the house of desire, right? So, planet in the 8th house has a strong Argala, 2nd house Argala of resources basically. It provides the resources for one's desire. It's basically what is the accumulation from the desire. It's what one accumulates from the desire. So, if the planet is conducive, it is possible that he has a strong desire. So basically he goes after people, goes after other people. So he may be licentious. So this is basically having more desire. In other cases where we saw, there were cases where the person's wife may not be long lived, the person's wife may be sick. So there are other cases where there may be interest in other women, but here it is simply because the person has a strong desire. The next verse is, why Lalita? No.
No, because it's like not only house, the person may not get married. Or
not necessarily. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Why do you say that?
Because the Lagna Lord is in 8, which is second from 7.
Yeah.
So maybe they are married, they non-duty has been in some examples that they get divorced and
It is possible. The Marka houses from the 2nd, 7th house can give break in the first marriage. That is possible, but there is no guarantee.
so that's not
See, the thing is, what I would really suggest is, if you want to see the longevity of the first marriage, see actually the seventh lord is important. The strength of the seventh house, the strength of the seventh lord is more important than Lagna. But what you said is absolutely true. Taking the seventh house as reference, the seventh lord is in the second house. One Marka lord is in another Marka house. So it is actually not conducive to marriage basically sustaining for a long time. But more than the seventh lord being in the second house, seventh lord being in eighth house, for example, is more serious. Because third and eighth are one kind of houses, 2 and 7 are other kind of houses. If there is a mix between them, that is when there is a problem. Seventh lord in the eighth, or third lord in the second lord in the third, eighth lord in the seventh. These are the problematic combinations for longevity. So, if the Lagna lord is in the second house, that will be from the eighth house, from the seventh house, seventh lord in the eighth house. So that will be more problematic. As a matter of fact, for Lagna lord in the second house, he probably gave the result. Yeah, he gave 2 wives. So there you can say wife will not live for a long time. Here, wife may, just because Lagna lord is in the eighth house, it doesn't mean wife will be short lived. It only means the person has a strong desire which needs to be fulfilled. The next verse is for the ninth house. Lagne che bhagyage jato bhagyavan janavallabha Vishnu bhaktah paturvagni dara putra dhanai yutah. Okay. Lagne che bhagyage jato. What does it mean? If the Lagna lord is in the ninth house, a person born like that, bhagyavan janavallabha means he is fortunate. Janavallabha means people love him. He is loved by people. He is fortunate and liked by people. Vishnu Bhaktaha means a devotee of Lord Vishnu, who is basically in charge of the dharma in the world, the god of dharma. Patuh means very talented. Vagni means good speaker, eloquent, good orator, very eloquent person, eloquent speaker. Dara putra dhanai yutah. Dara, wife, putra, sons, dhana, wealth. So he has wealth, children, wife. He is basically very lucky. So Lagna lord in ninth house is said to be a, for me, no negatives have been given. So he is basically giving all positive results. So how do you see all these? Well, ninth house is the house of fortune. If the Lagna lord is in fortune, it is a fortunate combination. Janavallabha, people like him. Why do people like him? Why do people like the person? Yeah. Seventh house is? Yeah, house of interacting with people, but seventh house, ninth house does not have an Argala. On the other hand, don't take the seventh house of interacting with people. Take the fifth house of following instead. Now, if you take the fifth house as reference, from there, the ninth house has an Argala. Moreover, the Arulagna is falling in the fifth house. So, what it means is, he has big following. So, here, when he says liked by people, he is not talking about in general, you just deal with Tom and Harry, Tom, Dick and Harry, and they like you. He is talking about big following. So, liked by people means somebody like a big star or big politician, big actor that people follow, people like. So, here he is somebody with following. That's what he is saying. Vishnu Bhaktaha, devotee of Vishnu. Why devotee of Vishnu? Well, not necessarily Vishnu, he may be Shiva devotee also. Bottom line is, or he may be a devotee of Allah, he may be a devotee of somebody else, Mother Mary. Bottom line is, he is religious. Ninth house is the house of religion. So, he is basically a religious person. He is very dharmic and religious person, very pious person. Patuhu means very talented. Why is he talented? Well, the house of abilities of fifth house contains Arulagna, and it has the ninth house has Argana on it. So, he has a lot of abilities, lot of scholarship, etc. Vagni has good eloquent speaker. Why is he eloquent speaker? Why is he an eloquent speaker? 7th from 2nd? 8th from 2nd. Why is he an eloquent speaker? What? Yeah. If you take the third house of communications, 9th house is basically 7th from there. Okay. So, yes, speech is from 2nd house. Third house is for in general communication. So, why? If you take instead of Lagna, if you take the Arudha Lagna, because when we are talking about the eloquence in speech, we are talking about the image of the person, the perceived image, especially the perceived speech. So if I do that, where is the 2nd house from Arudha Lagna? It is in the 6th house. Lagna Lord is in the 9th. So take 9th there from, you get 5th house. So Arudha Lagna, which shows the image of the person as perceived in the minds of people, the perception of people about this person, is in the 5th house. The second therefrom is the faculty of speech of the image of this person in the minds of people. That is in the 6th house. So 9th house has a strong driving agala on it. 4th house driving agala. So the planets in the 9th house, they drive the perceived speech of this person, the perceptions of the world about his speech. So if the planet, of course, the planet has to be a good planet. It's not just Lagna Lord in the 9th house. If he is a good planet conducive to good speech, because of that Argala, he will actually make him a good speaker. The next verse is Lagne se dasame jatah Lagne se dasame jatah pitru saukya samanvidah nirpamanjo jane khyatah vajidasvo na samsayah. Okay. Lagne se dasame jatah. If the Lagna Lord is in the 10th house, pitru saukya samanvitah. He is endowed with paternal happiness. He is lucky with respect to the happiness from father. Drupamanyo means he is honored by kings. Drupamanyo jane khyatah. Jane khyatah means in the society he is famous in the society. Swajitasva na samjaya. Swajitasva means one who has come up by himself, worked hard and came up in life by himself through his own effort. One who comes up by own effort. Okay, so self and wealth. Okay, now let's go through each of them. Lagne se dasme jata. If the Lagna Lord is in the 10th house, pitru saukya samanvitaha. He is happy with respect to father. Why? It has strong agala on the 9th house of father. Nrupamanyo, he is respected and honored by the kings. Why? Well, 10th house is the house of respect and honor in the society. It is the house of your activities in the society as well as the respect that you have, that you command in the society. It basically means he is somebody who is respected in the society. May or may not be kings or politicians, but bottom line is he is respected. Nrupamanyo, again, Jane Khyatah means well known in the society, because again 10th house is the house of respect in the society. So he is also known as the Simhasana Sthana, the house of crown. So he is basically well known in the society. Swarjitasvo na samjayah. Also he comes up by himself. He worked hard and came up in life by himself. Why is that so? 10th house of karma, actions of the person, is strong. Moreover, the 8th house, if you take the 8th house of getting money easily, getting money at somebody else's cost or inheriting it from somebody, 10th house does not have an agala on the 8th house. So planets in the 10th house They cannot give the result of the 8th house, right? The next one is Lagne se labhage jatah tada labhasamanvitah sushila khyata kirtischa bahudara gunaiyutah. Okay. Lagna Lord in the 11th house, a native with the Lagna Lord in the 11th house, sada labhasamanvitah means he is always labhasamanvitah. He is very profitable. He gets lot of profits. He makes lot of material gains. Because 11th house is the house of material gains and profits. Sushila means good character. He has a good character. Good character. Sushila khyata kirtischa. Khyata kirtischa means he has fame. Why fame? Good name and fame. Why? Again, this is the second house from 10th. 10th house of respect in the society. So they can be good name and fame. And why good character? 10th house is more than it is character also, but more than character it is the respect in the society, the honor and respect. Yes, Argala and the Lagna. Lagna is the basic house for the character of the person. 11th has Argala, right? It's the conclusive final Argala. Lagna Lord has Argala in his own house, so he will give good health, good character, etc. Now, Bahudara Gunairi Yutaha. Bahudara Gunairi Yutaha means, he has many good qualities which you can see from Lagna Argala, but the other one is Bahudara. He has many wives. Why should he have many wives? If Lagna Lord is in the 11th house, for me, he has he makes a lot of money, a lot of profit, so he can afford. He can afford, okay, that's a good common sense reason, but what else? Yeah, 5th from 7th, so 7th is the house of relations, so being the 5th house, having Argala on it, basically shows basically 11th house is actually important from the point of view of 11. What is the 5th house? 5th house is the house of abilities. So 5th house from any house is abilities of the person relating to that matter. So 11th house is being the 5th from 7th, it shows the ability to interact with people, ability to forge relations with people. So 11th house is also considered a house of friends, because it is your ability, a planet, strong planets in the 11th house give you good ability to have relationship, maintain relationship with many people. So you will have friends, lot of friends. 11th house is the house of friends for that reason. Now 7th is not just general relationships, it is also romantic and sexual relationships also you see from the 7th house. So 11th house being the 5th from there, it can show the ability to forge relationships with lot of people. So from that point of view, we have seen several kinds of combinations where having many wives or having many relationships, sexual relationships with other sex is given here. But each has a different shade. Here, it is because the person is a smooth handler. A person knows how to deal with people. Why? Yes, it is contradictory. Obviously, earlier when we said he will be either poor or king, that is also contradictory. What it shows is, these are the possibilities. Depending on the planet, depending on now, each result is coming because of a different factor. The good character is coming because of Argala and Lagna. And lot of relations are coming because of Argala and 7th house. Now, Argala and also being the 5th from 7th house. Now what you have to see is, what is the relationship with the 7th Lord, what is the relationship with the Lagna Lord, what is the relationship with the Karaka for good character. Who is the Karaka for good character? No, Karaka, significator. For good character, Jupiter and Sun. And who is the character for lot of relationship? Venus Venus is the Karaka, significator for sexual relationships. So, see the relationship of the Lagna Lord with these parameters, see which one is more conducive. And more importantly, consult the other divisional charts, Navamsa, etc. So, of course they are contradictory, but both are possible. And by the way, having relationship with lot of people doesn't mean it's bad character. Seriously. That is how we view at things in today's Desikala Patra. Today's, see, all rules of good behavior, ethics, even astrological rules are judged from Desha Kala Patra. Desha means the place where you are. Kala means the age in which you belong to, the times. And Patra means the status of the person, the manners, the culture of the person. So based on these things change. In the old days, for a person to be married to several people was not actually considered a bad thing, as long as they are all happy with each other. So it's not like you basically have one wife and without telling her you marry some other wife and you maintain them mutually exclusively. It's not like that. If you basically have 3 wives or 4 wives and they know about each other, or in the case of Draupadi, for example, has five husbands, they knew that each other, there were other husbands and they were all fine with it. So if everybody is fine with it, it wasn't considered a matter of bad character. Draupadi is actually considered somebody of tremendous character, a spotless character, and she has 5 husbands, and she maintained 1 year she would spend with one husband, another year with another husband, and while she is with one husband, her mind would not even think of the other husband. She is completely committed to that husband. So during the time that she is with one husband, her commitment is full. So it is spotless. So the thing is, how we judge character, etc., is clouded by our own conditioning of the mind based on the time, the place, and the culture in which we have grown up in. Anyway, coming back to the point, these are not really contradictory in a way. So he may be a very cultured person who is very smooth in dealing with people, and people may be attracted to him, and because of the attraction, he may attract several women and have a relationship with them and keep all of them happy, give them what they want, then and maintain a good character with everybody. That is it is also possible. So Lagna Lord in the 11th house may give multiple relationships on account of the skill of the person in dealing with people. The last one, Lagne Sevyaya Bhavasthe Deha Saukshya Vivarjitaha Vyarthavyayi Mahakrodhi Shubhadrugyogavarjite. Oh, by the way, another thing I did not mention earlier, for being Sushila, for being somebody of good character, when the Lagna Lord is in the 11th house. Another factor is, apart from Agla on the 10th house, 9th house is the house of dharma of the person, how pious, how principled the person is, the principles of the person. Now, when the Lagna Lord is in the 11th house, Arudha Lagna, where is it? It is in the 11th from 11th. You take 11th there from, so 9th house. So Arudha Lagna, the status of the person, the image of the person is in the house of dharma and piousness and religiousness. So the person is seen as a dharmic, basically a righteous person, not as a ruthless exploiter or something like that. So even if that person has multiple relations, he will be seen as a dharmic person. Now last verse, Lagne Sevyaya Bhavasthe Deha Saukshya Vivarjitaha Vyarthavyayi Mahakrodhi. This is unfair. Vyarthavyayi Mahakrodhi Shubhadrugyogavarjite. Shubhadrugyogavarjite. Okay. Lagne Sevyaya Bhavasthe. If the Lagna Lord is in the 12th house, Deha Saukshya Vivarjitaha. He has no happiness of body. He has no physical comfort. Body is bereft of happiness. Body struggles, suffers. Why? Well, aspect on the 6th house of obstacles, etc. Absolutely. I mean, this is the 12th house of what is the 12th house? 12th house of giving up. 12th house of depletion. 12th is the house of depletion. Letting something go, losing something, not having something. So Lagna Lord is in the Lagna, is in the 12th from Lagna. So Lagna is the overall well-being. He is in the house of loss of well-being. So he can't really give good health to the person. So he is not healthy and he is not physically in great shape. Vyartha Jayi. Vyartha means useless. Jayi means expenses. So he spends unnecessarily. But this is unfair. He may be spending necessarily also. This is not necessary. Bottom line is, Lagna Lord is in the 12th house. He is always thinking about his spending. His intelligence is focused on the spending. 12th house is also the house of spending. So he is a spender. He is a spendthrift. But it may not be, it may be good depending on the planets involved. Let's say the Lagna Lord in the 12th house also owns the 9th house. Actually, is it possible? Yeah, Lagna Lord cannot own 9th house. Forget. But let's say he is a friend of 9th house, he is a friend of sun, etc. He may be doing a lot of dharmic activity. He may be spending money on good causes. He may be spending money, donating it for building a church or a temple or something. So, Lagna Lord in 12th basically gives a lot of spending, makes the person spend very easily without thinking much. But it doesn't mean wasteful spending, but that is a possibility. So he says wasteful spender. Then what else? Mahakrodhi means very angry. Why? Why is he very angry? Well, one house that shows the anger is 8th house. 12th house has Argala and the 8th house of anger. Moreover, the emotional stability, which house shows it? 5th house. And what is the 8th house from it? 8th house of break, 8th house of longevity, 8th house of death. What is the 8th house from 5th? 12th house. So, planets in the 12th house can cause problems to the emotional stability. So, he can give, if he is a planet who gives anger, he can make him very angry. Bottom line is, whether anger or not, whether he gives irritability or not, he will basically spoil the emotional stability of the person, the judgment of the person, the discretion of the person. Shubha Drug Yoga Vajjite. Shubha Drug Yoga Vajjite. Shubha, functional benefits. Drug, aspect. Yoga, conjunction. Vajjite, divide off. So if he is divide of conjunction or aspect of a benefic planet, then these results. So all these not having physical comfort, wasteful spending, angry, all these results are if there is no conjunction or aspect of a benefit. Implicitly, actually implicitly or even explicitly, what is being, or implicitly is being suggested that in case there is aspect or conjunction of a benefic planet, this result is basically toned down to a large extent. So it doesn't really apply as much. Okay? Okay. Some of the yeah. 12th house is the house of renunciation. 12th house is the house of renouncing something. So planet strong 12th house, especially with the Lagna Lord, is actually conducive to renouncing self. So it's not really a bad combination, but when you are materially speaking, it is a bad combination. Renouncing material things is bad for material, but good for spirituality. So with that, we will end Parasara discussion today. Tomorrow we will start with the second, not tomorrow, but next week, we will start with the second house of money. Now I will restart for the practical session. Okay. Charts. Very good. How many days were you in India for? 2 weeks you saw 13, 14 charts, that's good.
You have done 100% better than that.
Very good, very good.
Because they kept many of my relatives also like
Good. Yeah, that is good. Keep practicing. The thing is, that's why I keep telling you guys. You must see a lot of charts. Then all the trade-offs that you have to make between different parameters, different factors, it basically comes with experience. And also, when you actually try to apply, that's when you will get doubts. You will wonder how do I judge in this particular case. Then you can come back and we can discuss. So you should do a lot of practical examples. That is the way to learn. As long as you know the fundamental building blocks, you can directly go to practical, because there are no real thumb rules that work all the time. It's a matter of multiple parameters, multiple factors that you are balancing. You know exactly what to see from each parameter, but now it's a matter of practicing. Okay, so your chart, the chart you wanted to see. June 7, 1984, 7:21 a.m. Chennai, India. Okay, one second, let me save it. How should I save it? In class examples perhaps. Class examples, okay. How should I save it? Kujura Chauhan. Kujura, okay. That's perfectly fine. I was just kidding. So Lagna is Leo, 10 degrees, 40 minutes Leo, and Moon is 0 degrees, 18 minutes ago. Okay. The data again for the audio is June 7, 1984, 11:21 a.m. Indian Standard Time, 5 hours 30 minutes east of GMT. The place is Chennai, India, 80 degrees 17 minutes east, 13 degrees 5 minutes north. Okay. So what do you want to see? One second, let me take care of this projector. Turn it on. No, not this. This button. Okay, so what do we want to see? D24. What is the question? CA exam for 2 years, okay? And failing? Failing in the final exam. CA means Chartered Accountancy, okay? Frustrated, who's got to pray. Okay. Next couple of months. How frequently can you give this exam? Huh? Oh. Okay. So he has been giving this Chartered Accountant exam. He's been taking that exam for the last 2 years so many times, and he's failing in the final exam every time. So he is frustrated. He has another exam coming up in a couple of months, in the next couple of months, and he wants to know which God he can pray to so that he succeeds in the exam. Okay, let us see. Right, is it the bachelor's education? What has he done until now? Okay. Okay. One second, let me note it down. Did BCom, MBA, now doing CA. Okay, fine. Let us see. Okay. Now, how do we see things like, how do we see doing CA? So actually first let us check what dasha applies in this case. Chaturashiti Samadasha is applicable because the 10th Lord Venus is in the 10th house. From Leo Lagna, Taurus is the 10th house and its Lord is in the house. So applicable if the 10th Lord is in 10th. So we apply this dasha, Chaturashiti Samadasha. So what dasha is he running? Venus. So during the Venus dasha he is trying to take this exam for CA. Now let us see. Yeah. Okay. 2 minutes 45 seconds earlier, the Lagna would have been Pisces instead of Aries in this chart of education. Education is seen from D24. And if the time is 2 minutes 24 seconds later, the Lagna would be Taurus. Now, when did he do BCom? Do you know? 1 second. I'll note down. did BCom in 2005 means he graduated in 2005. Graduated 2005. Okay. And MBA? In the next 2 years probably. Yeah. 7th probably. Is it? Okay, fine. You said he's been trying for CA for a couple of years, so probably he finished MBA in 2 years. Okay, so let us see now. Now we want to see Chaturashiti Samadasha. So at the fag end of Jupiter period, he basically did in the last 3 years of Jupiter Dasha, he was doing his BCom, right? You said he finished in 2005. So his final results may have come in Venus period, but in the Jupiter period, he was doing BCom. Let us also check the Narayan Dasha, just to cross check the D24 Narayan Dasha, the sign Dasha. So based on that, the Dasha of Taurus, was running when he was doing. Actually, one second, let us see this from the 4th house. The 4th lord is Mars and Ketu. Who's stronger? Right, but the thing is, in Siddhamsa, Mars is in 1 house. So you have to see the strength in the Siddhamsa. So in Siddhamsa, the lord of Scorpio is Ketu, because Mars is in the 1 side. So it will start from Taurus. So if you take D24 Narayan Dasha from Taurus, he was basically during the Leo Dasha he started BCom. In Capricorn he finished his BCom, and then he did in Capricorn Dasha he did his MBA. So in Capricorn mainly, in Leo he joined MBA BCom degree. In Capricorn he joined his MBA degree. And here in Jupiter he did his. Okay. Now, assuming that this Lagna this time is basically accurate meaning within 2 minutes, so that we don't have to change it to Pisces or Taurus in this chart. Assuming Aries holds, does it make sense? How do you see his BCom degree from? 9th house is the bachelor's education. So the 9th lord is Jupiter. So being the 9th lord, can he give bachelor's education? Yes, he can give bachelor's education. And can it be in commerce? Jupiter can show money matters, etc., financial subjects like economics, commerce, this kind of subjects. And also he is with Saturn. So very routine kind of learning he will give, not something sophisticated. And based on the other Dasha, the Narayan Dasha, what did we get? We got Leo. In Leo Dasha, he basically came to BCom. Can this education be given in Leo Dasha? Is it possible that this would start in the Leo Dasha? Well, the Lord of Leo Sun, he has Argala on the 9th house. If you look at the influences on 9th house, its Lord is Jupiter and it has Argala from only one planet, Sun. Right? So it can happen in the Dasha of Sagittarius, it can happen in the Dasha of Virgo, it can happen in the Dasha of Capricorn, it can even happen in the Dasha of Leo, because in Leo Dasha, the Dasha of Sun will be given, who has Argala on the 9th house. So there is a chance that he will be doing bachelor's education during that Dasha. Now, the next one was in 2005, he started MBA program. Is there a possibility of MBA, management, a management degree in that period? Let us see. At that time, the Dasha of Venus started. Now, what shows Masters of Business Administration? Masters is seen from, more specialized education is seen from the 2nd house. The house of 6th house from the 9th house. The house of increase, Updaya. So, the 2nd house is owned by Venus. Pardon? Yeah, he is aspecting it too. So, 2nd lord being Venus, he is aspecting it. So, it can definitely Venus Dasha can definitely give master's education. And also, who are the planets of management? Venus and Sun. Sun shows the administrative kind of management and Venus shows detailed planning kind of management. So both show two different styles of management, but they are the planets of management. So Venus being the second lord aspecting the second house, MBA is possible. Of course, if we didn't know that, we could have guessed Rahu and Ketu are there. They can show highly technical stuff. We could have guessed that also. But Venus ended up dominating here. The influence of Venus on the second house ended up dominating. So he basically ended up being studying management. So Venus Dasha gave the result. And as per the Narayana Dasha, what Dasha was it? It was the Capricorn Dasha. Right? Yeah. Yeah. It is continuation. Suppose I did electrical engineering BTech and then I am doing MTech in electrical engineering. Then there will be some connection. Here, this education is given by Saturn and Jupiter, the other is given by Venus. And there is no real link between them. So, there can be a discontinuity. That's a separate matter. Now Capricorn. Can Capricorn Dasha give this result? Well, Capricorn is aspecting Taurus and is aspecting Venus also. So Capricorn being a sign that aspects both of them, if Dasha there is a possibility that in that Dasha he will basically do MBA. Probably in the Taurus Antardasha. Taurus is the second house of Masters. Probably is the Taurus Dasha when he either joined the MBA program or he got admission to the MBA program or something happened that summer, that between February and June. But in general, Capricorn is capable of giving it, and Venus is definitely strong candidate for giving it. So there is a confluence between the two parameters, the sign Dasha and the planetary Dasha. Now, so this makes sense so far. Now, as far as the CA is concerned, how should you see it? Where should you see it from? Is it a continuation of the specialized education that started as MBA, or is it the next level where you specialize even further?
It is not, it's more like a professional course.
Yes.
Is it an exam, like a competitive exam?
Right. Competitive exam is for actually, once again, please educate me. CA is not a course, is it?
CA is a course. It is a course conducted by a chartered accountant institute.
Yeah.
And you need to get certified through them passing their exam.
Yeah.
In order to be a chartered accountant who can audit other people.
Okay, so you are not really, this is not like MBA or BCom, this is not a course. You are actually getting certified based on, pardon me? Right. So all the knowledge that you got earlier, using that knowledge, you claim that I can do so-and-so job and you are being tested for it. Like basically Microsoft certified engineer certification kind of thing. But a more generic thing. Okay, I got you. So in that case, this is not second house or ninth house.
It is exactly like CPA here.
Right, okay. Actually, I don't know CPA also. You told me about CA, so now I will conclude that CPA is like CA. Okay. So how do you see it then? How do you see it from? Which house will show competitive exams for professional purpose in the career, in the education?
That is the tangible knowledge, ability. But as far as the house is concerned, I am still thinking it should be second house because it is an extension of your master's college. Otherwise, you would have taken 6 from there if you are doing a doctorate.
Yeah, if you can do CPA without doing masters, just with BCom, it has it has nothing to do with it. The MBA is separate and this is separate.
That's why you will see this from.
In general, what I will suggest is, in general, if you have a competitive exam for the purpose of your livelihood that you are taking, for me, see, 6 is sufficient. 6th house is the house of competition. It is the house of obstacles, overcoming obstacles, rivals, enemies, competition. So, if you are taking a competitive exam relating to your learning, testing your learning with some competition, sizing your learning up with that of some competition, that has to be the 6th house. The 6th house in the D24 chart. So 6th house would be important for that. Okay, and also 6th house is basically the house of livelihood. It is the house of service. So it is something that you can use for your livelihood. It is an Abhatrikona. It is basically you can also look at the 10th house. If it is a professional exam, 10th house is also useful. So basically I will say 10th and 6th are important. And here if you take the 6th house, now the influence of the 9th house is back. The 9th lord, Jupiter, is in the 6th house. So the competitive exams that he takes may not be related to the 2nd house, but they may be related to the 9th house. So he is interested in a competitive exam that is actually an extension of his BCom, Bachelor of Commerce degree, rather than his MBA degree. He is competing. Now the planet there is Jupiter, and also who is the lord of 6th house? Mercury. And again Mercury is the natural accountant. Mercury is the karaka for accounting. Jupiter is the karaka of financial institutions, etc. So the influence of Mercury and Jupiter on the 6th house shows a competitive exam, passing or failing, whatever, appearing in a competitive exam relating to accounting and commerce. So this makes sense. Pardon me? Lord is Mercury. Now let us see. Is the Dasha right now conducive? So there is basically the 6th lord being in the 8th house with the 8th lord. There is a Viparita Rajayoga. So there is actually a chance that this person will have to work hard, because 6th lord is in the 8th house. He will have to work hard, but at the end he may succeed in being certified as CA. But the problem is the period right now conducive? First let us look at the Rashi Dasha, the sign Dasha, sign period. So Capricorn is was running until recently, but right now what has started? Gemini has started. Is Gemini conducive? It is probably more conducive, because it is also owned by Mercury, and it is aspecting, Gemini is aspecting Virgo. Moreover, look at what occupies Gemini. AL. What is AL? The image of the person as far as learning is concerned, because this is D24, chart of learning. So image of the person relating to his learning. A5. What is A5? 5th house is the house of abilities and scholarship. A5 is, what is A5? The tangible article that will reflect on the abilities of the person, like a certificate, an award that a best actor award, an Oscar that an actor may win, or a certificate that you may win, or somebody appears for a competitive exam and he stands first in the entire country. Things like that. Basically they are tangible symbols of your recognition. And remember again, when you see this A5, this is basically the Arudha Pada of the 5th house. And Arudha Padas always show tangible articles. When you say ability of Seshu, nobody knows how able he is. It is basically something internal. Whereas Arudhas are external. Arudhas are tangible articles using which world judges his abilities. Similarly, A4, 4th house is the house of your happiness from vehicle. Again, how happy I am with my vehicle, you don't know. But A4, it is my actual car. So looking at my car, people say, oh, he has a Benz, he is happy. Oh, he has only a Hyundai Petrol, he is not lucky with car. Like that, people guess how happy I am with my car based on which car I have. Because that is all people can see. They can't go into my mind and see how I am feeling. So houses show things like that, internal things which people cannot put their finger on, they cannot see. Whereas the Arudha Padas, the A something here in the chart, they are tangible articles. So the great news is AL and A5, they are together. That's like a Rajyoga. The image of the person and the tangible article reflecting on the ability of the person are together. So that's a great yoga, that's a great combination, which means he will do something, he will achieve something tangible which will make the world think favorably of him, have a good image of him with respect to learning. So probably this is the dasha. So based on this, the time is very conducive. Now if we divide this into three parts, the first part will give the results of Gemini itself. The second part will give the results of the Lord. The third part will give results of aspects of Saturn and Jupiter. Now the sign itself is quite capable of giving it because it contains AL and A5. So before 2010 February, he should succeed finally, even though he is being frustrated until now. So February 2010, that is the limit. Now let us see the Nakshatra Dasha, the constellation based Dasha. So what is the Dasha he is running right now? What is the Dasha he is running right now? Venus Dasha, of course. What is the Antardasha? What is the Antardasha he is running? Saturn is over. Now Sun Antardasha is running. Is Sun in Venus period, is Sun sub-period capable of giving an academic distinction, an academic success? From Lagna, Sun is in the 10th house of achievement, right? And he is the 5th lord. He is the 5th lord of recognition. So there is a chance. Being the 5th lord in Sun Antardasha, there is a chance. Specifically, yes, yeah, but Bhagyapada is there, the fortune. Now one second, let me look at the Pratyanta Dashas in Sun. So Sun Dasha is conducive. Basically, based on Narayana Dasha, there is a link with A5. Based on this, there is a link with the 5th house, right? Now in addition, how is the, and moreover A6, the Arudha of this competition, that is in Sun. Now when is the Mercury sub-period? See, Mercury, why Mercury is the 6th lord and 3rd lord, moreover this AL and A5 together is very auspicious. The lord of that is Mercury. So Mercury Pratyanta Dasha in 2009 is actually 2009 April to July. That is actually a more conducive period than in the next couple of months. Even though he is sitting again in a couple of months, I would really put my money on that period, 2009 May, June, July time period. That will be a very auspicious time. Now let us suggest which god to pray, etc. a little later. Let us quickly look at this year's annual chart. 2008, let's click on this button, find the Pravesha chart. So his annual Solilunar return chart is on June 11, 2008. Even though he was born on June 7, the birthday is on June 11 at 11:31:56 AM. Now how is this year? How much leeway do we have? If 2 minutes later or 3 minutes earlier it would change, so let us assume that the error is less than this. Even though we don't have a guarantee, because based on the natal chart we knew that error wasn't 245 backwards or 220 something forward. So, and here 159 is enough. So there is a 20-second window in which the Lagna that we are happy with in the natal chart will still remain, but the Lagna in this chart will change to the next sign. So it could be Libra, even with the same natal chart. So we are not sure, right? You understand what I am saying? The windows are not the same as in the natal chart. So there is some uncertainty, but 2 minutes. So let's take a chance and say that the error is less than 2 minutes. The error is 1 minute or so, 1.5 minutes. So let us assume this is right. Is there a chance of academic success during this year? Hora Lord. The Hora Lord is Sun. The planetary hour when the year started is ruled by Sun. So Sun is the boss of the year. He is the king of the year, ruler of the year. He is exalted in the 8th house. Is the exaltation of Sun good or bad? Bad. He is the 12th Lord. Exaltation of 12th Lord is bad. But 12th Lord in the 8th is good. It's Viparita Raj Yoga. It is frustration and then success. But there is another modifier. He is with Venus. Venus is the 9th Lord. So had he been alone, it would have been a Raj Yoga. But he is with Venus. So is it good? No. So this is not conducive. Okay. So we are not sure if this is a good year from the point of view of that point of view. Let us see. Let us see how is Lagna Lord. That is the other thing. How is Lagna Lord? Lagna Lord is Lagna Lord is Mercury and he is in the 4th house. 4th house of learning, he is in Aruh Lagna. Lagna Lord being in Aruh Lagna, is it good or bad? That's an excellent thing. Lagna Lord is the greatest benefit in any chart. Yes, that's fine. But he is also in AL. AL is the image of the person. And yes, Mercury is, we were looking at the Mercury Prakranta Dasha. And Mercury in the natal chart is a key planet. And in general for CA, Mercury is the key planet. So Mercury being in AL can give the image of, now he is an accountant. But what is the meaning of A8? What is A8? 8th house is the house of suddenness. A8 can show a tangible sudden event basically. But the thing is, the most important thing is, for success in a competition, A6 shows competition because it's the Arudha of the 6th house. It's a tangible competition that you take part in. That is shown by A6. And what shows success? A success in something like recognition of the one's abilities. A5. So A5 and A6, if there is some link, that is conducive. Here, there is a link between A5 and A6, that too in the 9th house. So there is a link between A5 and A6 in the 9th house, and the lord of that house happens to conjoin the ruler of the year. So basically he has the, it is like your project lead has access to the company CEO. So the lord of this combination is with the Hora lord, the ruler of the year. So there is a chance that it will actually happen. Now let us, just for comparison, let us see the year after that. See if that is showing stronger promise. How is this chart? The Hora lord is Mercury. Mercury is the Hora lord. So he is the ruler of the year, right? And the ruler of the year is in the 12th house, not great. But let us see Lagna. This is quite interesting. Lagna contains Lagna Lord Sun very strongly. Lagna contains Lagna Lord very strongly. And Arudha Lagna Lord, the image, Venus is also there. So Lagna Lord and Arudha Lagna Lord are in Lagna, very strong. And A5, A9, A10, A11, brilliant combination. A11 is a tangible gain. A10 is a tangible event relating to the profession of the person in education. Something tangible in the education that has an impact on the profession. A9, fortune, luck. So a tangible event that is making the world form an impression on his fortune. And A5, a tangible event or article reflecting on his abilities. See, compared to the earlier case where A5 and A6 are together but the Lord is in the 12th from it and he is spoiling the Viprit Rajoga, compared to that, if you look at this, isn't this better? Right? This is definitely better. And from Lagna, the 6th Lord Saturn is in the 5th house. 6th house is the house of competition. The Lord is in the 5th house of success with Yokarka Mars. For Leo Lagna, Mars owns a quadrant and a trine, so he is a Yokarka. And also he is the significator of fighting, of competing. So Saturn Mars combination is there. There is a Rajoga. The 9th Lord and the 7th Lord are giving a Rajoga in the 5th house of recognition. And Lagna is extremely powerful. So this seems like the year. To me, honestly, compared to the, and also the Sun Dasha itself basically, Sun is in Lagna very strongly in A5. So I don't know if any exams or results are possible during that time, but June is a very favorable time. Yeah, we said April to June. So that also is actually, we were April to June, July time period we saw. So April to July, April 20 something to July something. Those were the days we saw based on the natal Nakshatra Dasha, Pratyanta Dasha, the third level, right? Venus, Sun, Mercury. And here we are seeing Sun period coming here. Of course, it can be given in Venus period also. It can be given in Mercury period also, Mars period also. But if I were to make a prediction, pick one thing, I would pick Sun. So next May, June is actually more favorable. If the exam or the results are going to come in that period, probably results more than exam, if the results can come in May, June time period, you should shoot for it. That is a better, I'm not saying don't take the exam until then, practice maybe another 3-4 times, but my feeling is he will succeed next year, next summer, next Indian summer. Okay, fine. Yes, we will now having given our prediction, now let us cater to his need. His need is, he doesn't want to hear that it will take till next year. He wants to hear that he will clear it in the next 2 months. Okay, what can he do? Which god can he pray to? Well, Mercury is the Karaka, he is the Lord of 6th house here of... No. Don't suggest remedies based on ATP. Suggest remedies based on natal chart. Natal Siddhamsa. Oh, next 2 months how they are. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure. So she wants to actually see how the next 2 months are. Even though if we were to just make a prediction without bias, our prediction would be next May, June. But if we were to see the potential in the next 2 months, because he is so interested in that, let us see what is the Dasha next 2 months. So Mercury Dasha, Mercury, right? Mercury is the Lagna Lord in the 4th house. It is favorable. It's not bad. Don't even, let's not suggest that, because you don't lose by taking, there is no cap on how many times you can try, right? The more times you fall, the better the chance of rising next time. No, actually it's not that bad. Mercury, if there is a chance, it is in Mercury. So he can try. There is no harm in trying. So let him try. But the thing is, there is only like maybe 20-25% chance in my judgment. Whereas next year there is a 70-75% chance. It is much stronger. So tell him there is some chance in the next few months. So do your best. But if this doesn't happen, definitely you will get next May, June. Definitely it will happen. So basically tell it in such a way that even if this fails, he will be optimistic. Don't never, when you are expecting the result 1 year later or 2 years later, but you don't want to tell that to the person because he wants to hear good things about the next few months, always word it in such a way that they don't lose hope now, but if it doesn't happen, they don't lose hope forever. For me, yeah, just show a carrot saying next year is really brilliant, but there is some chance now. You can try. Now praying is based on, like I said, natal chart, and the 6th house of competition is having Mercury. So who should he pray to? Mercury. No question. And who can he pray for Mercury? Just Vishnu is enough. Tell him to read Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram. The 1000 names of Lord Vishnu, if you can chant that every day. Yeah, every day, why not? It just takes 15 minutes or 10 minutes. Well, you can, but let us just go with Vishnu. Vishnu Sahasra. Mercury is so strong everywhere. Natal chart, annual chart. Let's just go with, see, he is in Mars house with Mars. You can choose Narasimha also. So many possibilities are there. But what I really suggest is just choose Vishnu. Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram is a very powerful stotra. One second. Okay, that's enough. Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram let him do. I was actually thinking of a verse for Samplikarana. Yeah. In general, Samplikarana of any mantra is more powerful. You are basically mixing one mantra with something else. It is like basically you have a rice. Instead of eating the rice, you are putting some spice in it. You are putting some sugar in it. No, you can add something else. You can just combine any two things. For example, I won't suggest in this case, but you can just say before and after every verse, you can say, for example, Hrim or Om Hrim. Let's say Om Hrim Vishnu Hadkaro Bhota Bhagavad Prabhu Bhota Krut Bhota Vruddhavo Bhutatma Bhota Bhavana Hrim Om or same Om Hrim and Sloka. That you can do. Or for me, yeah, they are like a container basically. You have some food, you are putting it in a container. So in a nice container. It actually makes any mantra more powerful if you use the right Samplikarana. So common thing for Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram is actually to take another verse from the Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram and do Sampadikana with it. So I was thinking, if there is a verse that has Vidya, something to do with Vidyavan, there must be some verse which refers to knowledge. So I will locate that verse. So do Sampadikana with that verse. See, suppose you can do Sampadikana with Lakshmi's verse. You can say Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvarthakadike Saranye Triyambake Gauri Narayan Namoste Vishnu Vishnu Harkaro Bhuta Bhavya Bhavadrabhu. Read one sloka. Then again read Sarva Mangala Mangalye Lakshmi sloka. And then do second sloka from Vishnu. Like that you can do Sampadikana. For example, Lakshmi and Vishnu.
When you suggest Sampadikana, it is better for people who are already in the field, but if
No, doesn't matter.
not in
What do you mean in this field?
in the field, what I mean is who is regularly chanting or who is regularly spending some time at this. But if somebody
No. Actually, if somebody is comfortable with this, if somebody regularly does it, he knows it by heart. So for him, if there is no Sampadikana, he just says, like that he says, after one sloka, the second sloka will automatically come to the mind. So it's easier. If for such a person, if I suggest Sampadikana, I'm breaking his flow. After one sloka, when he goes to something else, to return to where he was, he has to refer to a book. Even if he got it by heart, he has to use a book and use his mind actively. If you don't do Sampadikana, your mind can actually put on cruise control mode also sometimes, because if you know something so comfortably, if you are just chanting, your mind may not be fully there also, still you can chant. But Sampadikana forces you to put your mind there. So the thing is, whether you are an expert who knows Vishwasnamam almost by heart or somebody a novice, it makes no difference. The only difference is, this takes 1.5 times more time compared to regular, because you are reading double the number of verses, but one verse is repeat. So that verse will take shorter time, the other verses will take more time. So this will probably take 1.6 times compared to your regular chanting time. Instead of 15 minutes, this will be 25 minutes. So, but it is more powerful. So I will suggest later, I will email the sloka number in the Vishwasnam Stotram later. My strong feeling is, let him do Sampadikana with a particular verse. Then it will be more powerful. So I think we are done with this. Anything else? And actually, just out of curiosity, who's the Amatya Karaka? Who's the Pana Devata? The Amatya Karaka who shows the livelihood of the person is Venus. AMK is Venus. And where is Venus in the Navamsa, the chart of divine blessings, D9? Venus is in Cancer. The sixth from him is Jupiter. So Jupiter is in Virgo. So Jupiter shows Shiva. So in general, praying to Shiva is good for him from the point of view of having a stable career and stable livelihood. So for livelihood, not for clearing this competitive exam, but in general later for regular sustenance, for him what would be advised is doing a mantra of Shiva. Okay. Oh, by the way, Mercury also happens to be Gnatikaraka, the Karaka for enemies, rivals, competitors, etc. That's good. Because we can also look at the Gnatikaraka in D24 to see this, but let us not do that. So suggest Vishwasnama Stotram with a Sampadikana, which I will email later. So that's it for this example. Now we have 5 minutes to see another example. If you want, I will quickly, without too much logic, I will just, it will be in the family. Yeah. Ma? Yes? Okay. So we are looking at a chart, the data, July 8th, happy birthday, a few days late. Yeah. July, well, I knew only today. July 8, 1992, 9:54 p.m. Indian Standard Time, IST, 5 hours 30 minutes east of GMT. Sikandra, again, this is a chart given by Seshu. So the person is born in Sikandrabad. This is like 100th chart we are seeing, born in Sikandrabad. Sikandrabad, India, 78 degrees 30 minutes east, 17 degrees 27 minutes north. So what is the specific question?
The specific question is, what is the specific field he included in his
College.
I'm thinking here, right now I think reading newspapers,
What is he interested in?
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know. But he knows it's not engineering.
He is not engineering because I am working in engineering and he knows what I am doing. So he doesn't get all that.
Basically, he doesn't like you and doesn't like what you are doing.
He doesn't take the way I spend time.
So you haven't succeeded in inspiring your son. You have actually succeeded in de-inspiring your son.
I never do either way.
Okay, we are just pulling your leg. Now seriously, what would be a good, actually to see what would be the right field for bachelor education would be a short-sighted step. What would be more interesting is to see what would be the right career for him. To see what is the right career, we can suggest the bachelors and masters relating to that. Right? Otherwise, if you suggest something simply based on D24, oh, he will do so-and-so thing for bachelor. But if he is not going to have a career in that, what's the point? So, instead of looking at D24, let us look at D10, the chart of career. Now, how much leeway do we have? 3.5 minutes and 6.5 minutes. So, if you are sure that it is within this, yeah, pretty much accurate if you know. If you were there when he was born, it's probably 2 minutes. Error is probably only an error, not in the clock, but in the definition taken. So, it is probably 1 minute, 2 minutes, not more than that, the error. So, let us take this chart to be accurate. Now, what is the career that this shows? The career is seen from 2nd, 6th and 10th, right? Okay. Let's also pull up these things, okay. And also let us look at Amartyakarka. Amartyakarka livelihood is Rahu, okay. Rahu is the Amartyakarka. Now, how is this chart? The Lagna Lord Mercury is exalted in 4th house. So, basically he is a smart person. In his career he is known as he is a smart person, and also he is seen by the world as a smart person because Aru Lagna has Mercury. His image is that of a smarty. Now, what is the career? 6th and 10th, these are the houses to take. Which is stronger, which is dominating? Yeah. Not 6th, 10th. 10th house has exalted Venus, the 5th lord. And also 6th house has its own house Mars. So there is a tussle between Venus and Mars. The 10th lord Jupiter is in the 8th house, he is in debility. So even though the 10th house is strong, the 10th lord is weak. But if you take the 6th house of service, it is owned by Mars and occupied by Mars. It is very strong. It is a Martian influence. And how is A10 and A6? If you look at A10, where is A10? Where did you see it? I don't see it. A10 is in the 5th house itself. Okay. So the Arudha of the 10th house, the tangible career basically, work, is in the 6th house. So this makes the 6th house pretty strong. Right? Okay. So my guess is more than Jupiter and Venus showing. There may be a parallel career. There may be a secondary career shown by Jupiter and Venus. But my feeling is which may actually make him famous also. For which he may be well known. Because Venus is the 5th lord of fame. He may be well known for that. But the primary career may be Mars. Also if you look at the Rashi chart, the 10th house is Scorpio owned by Mars. Oh my God, Mars is in one house. Mars is in the 3rd house of initiative. So he is a very bold person. Pardon me? Okay. What kind of career can Mars show? He can show engineering, but not necessarily like what you do, not like material engineering, not like software engineering, not logic, but making things, chemicals, civil engineering, that kind of. Automobile, absolutely. Mechanical engineering is a strong possibility. What else? Yes, Mars can be a surgeon. Mars can show surgery. Pardon? Yeah. Mars can show a surgeon, especially in Scorpio. So, surgery is a possibility. Surgery, mechanical engineering, these are the two possibilities I can think of. What else can you think of? Yes, Venus is the planet of curing. He is the planet. Venus and Moon show curing, and Mars is the planet of cutting, and Sun is the other planet of surgery, and Sun is with the 10th lord Jupiter. So 10th Lord Jupiter is with Sun, 10th house has Venus, A6 is in with Moon and Rahu, that may also show medical profession, especially with some research etc. because of Rahu. So all these things are showing some cutting edge surgeon kind of thing. So medicine is something he can take very seriously, he can consider. Now having said that, pardon me, what about mechanical engineering? Okay, those are the two possibilities I suggest. Now let us look at D24. Let us see what are the influences here. The 9th house has Sun and Mars, but how accurate is this one? 1 minute 42 seconds, so it's not like within 20 seconds the Lagna will change. We have 1.5 minutes, more than 1.5 minutes of leeway in both the directions. So let's take it for granted. Okay. So the 9th house of bachelor education has Mars and Sun. What do Mars and Sun show? Again, Mars-Sun combination is very strong for surgery, for medicine. Secondly, Mars can also, like I said earlier, he can show mechanical engineering and chemical engineering, that kind of engineering. So it is either engineering, but not mathematics based engineering, right, but technology based engineering and physical engineering basically, not abstract object oriented engineering, not abstract engineering like computers. Could even be hardware. Mars can also show computer hardware, electronics, etc. So it could be electronics, it could be mechanical, it could be chemical. So these engineerings are a possibility, and surgery, medicine is actually a good possibility. You said he is not interested, but that's a good possibility. But we'll see. We'll see.
He is interested more in like futuristic cars and cars with new designs.
Okay. Let him be a mechanical engineer, that's perfectly fine. See, forget the Argada, but in the D10 also there is an influence of Rahu, so there is a possibility of some research, etc. Anyway, so my suggestion would be take medicine if he is interested, is a good area for him. Otherwise, mechanical engineering, chemical engineering, this kind of engineering. And of course, automobile engineering is pakka, it is clearly Mars only. So if he is interested in automobile engineering, that is also consistent with the planetary influences. So if he ends up going into that field, he won't basically waste his life. It may actually be his career. Okay, so with that, and also in that case, Venus could also show luxurious, management one thing, but also it could show some consumer products. Venus is a planet of consumer products and luxury products, etc. So doing some automobile research and doing some luxury cars later on may be shown by Venus. So that is a tangible line field for him.
Because when he gets from what is more like engineering thing.
Yeah.
Of course, Sun and Mars seems to be.
Yeah. So good luck to him. Which grade is he in now? Oh, so he has 2 more years to fall in love with something else. Okay, good luck. Okay, so with that we will end for today. Om Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Sarve jana sukhino bhavantu. Yavad bhumandale sanatana dharmo vardhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.